Drivers, start your engines!
Green, green, green.
Well, when you talk the ASA series, you talk the AC Delco Challenge Series, you have to talk about Bob Senneker. Now, Bob Senneker has won twice as many races as Mike Eddy, so I guess that kind of makes you the Richard Petty of the ASA series.
Well, we've won a lot of races, but I've been at it an awful long time too, so that kind of counts for it.
You're certainly, in at least in these parts of Michigan, a legendary short track racer. And you've been at it for, like you say, a long time, but it did also take you a long time to win your lone ASA championship.
Yeah, and I didn't even do that on my own. I had to drive for another team to do that with Troop Motorsports back in '90. I never done it with my own equipment.
Well, why do you think that is nowadays in auto racing? Is it hard for a driver to be a driver, owner, crewman, team manager, and all that anymore?
It's really tough. It gets tougher every day to do it that way. It takes so many people on the team and a lot of money to run it, and it's kind of tough to get sponsors sometimes. That's probably why I quit. Just couldn't get enough money to do it right. And it was just getting to be too much work.
To me, that is very surprising that a driver such as yourself is unable to secure sponsorship, because you still have an incredible fan following. We're here at Berlin Raceway here in Michigan, and the fans are still flocking to your car, standing in line for your autograph. Is it an age thing, or like you say, just all those things you can't do at one time anymore?
Well, I don't know what the real reason is, but some of the teams are getting some money and some others aren't. And who knows what the reason is? It just happens that way.
So it's not going to happen out of Bob Senneker's pocket. Come down to?
No, I'm retired. Don't know if I should even be here. We're having a tough time with this car right now, but we're supposed to go to Milwaukee next week or 2 weeks. That's all we got scheduled for this year.
In the early 1980s, in 1983, you tried your hand at the Winston Cup Series, which was then Grand National Series, and that's pretty much, other than ASA, is pretty much the only thing you've done outside of ASA. Is that correct?
And a little bit of Saturday night outlaw racing around here, but yeah, Winston Cup was just kind of out of our league, and we dabbled in it a little bit, but just didn't do it good enough with enough money to do it right, so we just gave up on it.
So if Bob Senneker can't run up front, he's not going to run there at all?
That's about right.
What would Bob Senneker do in retirement? Does he fish? Does he golf? Or does he tinker with cars? What does he do?
Too busy with my fabricating business to even golf yet. I wouldn't have time to race now full time if I had to.
Have you had any type of consulting offers from different series around the country? Because certainly there's a wealth of knowledge up in that head of yours.
Yeah, I've had some offers to come do other things at racetracks, but no, that's not the way I want to spend my Saturdays anymore. If I'm not racing, I'm out of it.
Not even like a Gary Nelson thing where you'd be a director type of thing for a series?
I don't think so. Time to stay home.
Was there one reason why you stayed in ASA and ARCO and some of the Outlaw Saturday Night stuff? Certainly there was many other series to compete in, ARCA, NASCAR, even the late model sportsman series, or was that just too far south?
Yeah, ASA is closer to home. It was easy to do. We knew what we were doing with the series. It was a nice series. It's a nice car to work with. We were really happy with it. It just got to be too much for me to do alone.
Well, was that also maybe one of the reasons for all of your success, is that it was an easy car to work with?
That and we started from ground one just about in ASA and knew the ropes all the way up. That made it a lot easier.
In the late 70s and early 80s, you did almost what some people would consider almost an immortal task and won, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5 dry power 400s at Winchester in a row.
Yeah, 5 in a row. It surely wasn't all skill. A couple of times I come from 3, 4, 5 laps back and still won it because other cars fell out. But that's racing. You take the wins when they come to you.
Would you say that was probably one of your favorite tracks?
It was at that time. Yeah. I don't know if I'd be interested in high banks now anymore, but it was fun back then.
Would you say that when a driver reaches a certain age, he should get out of the car, or just when he feels he has lost his competitive edge?
Yeah, when he loses that drive to do it. I don't have the reflexes I used to have, but I'm still comfortable driving. I just slow down a little bit and make up for it and use my experience to hopefully keep me in the lead.
It seems over the years that you would rather be driving than say doing an interview like this. Have you always got, not to say that you're having a problem with this one, but how's the media been to you? Have they been kind to you over the years? Because certainly you seem to have been fan friendly.
Media has always been kind to me. I haven't been so kind to the media a lot of times because I get a bad attitude when things aren't going right. But they've been good to me, and I probably should have been better to them at times.
If you can think back to possibly the year and what happened, what is your most memorable race, and if you have more than one?
Oh, several. Probably the biggest thing comes to mind right now is that big race in Michigan 4 or 5 years ago, the ASA race. But there were several, 5 in a row at Winchester, and there's several. Milwaukee. There's just too many.
What do you see racing, not just necessarily the ASA series, but stock car racing in general? Certainly you've got NASCAR and the support divisions, you've got ASA. Where do you see that heading in the next few years? Do you have an opinion on that?
ASA, it's had a lot of potential for a long time, and we keep waiting for it to climb up that ladder and get right behind NASCAR. It'll never pass or even catch up with NASCAR, but it should be able to get on the apron strings there, and they're having a hard time hanging on there and drawing the people. I just hope they can get their stuff together here and get it shaped up.
Do you think maybe in your opinion that's why they went to North Carolina and Florida and places like that to get in that area?
Yeah, I think they're trying to get more exposure, but I don't know what the answer is.
Do you feel that ASA maybe has done enough to perhaps try to keep the veteran stars like yourself and Mike Eddy, or do they seem to be courting the younger stars?
Oh, they're definitely courting the younger stars. They didn't really seem to care whether I left or not. I don't know what Mike's situation is, but they got a lot of young blood there. But there's a lot of up and coming. Some of them are kind of scary looking right now, but they'll straighten out. They got a lot of young guys.
If you can recall back what year it was and what happened, what was your worst wreck, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know what year it was, but at Michigan, it knocked me out for a half an hour.
Was that when you backed into the wall?
I think I hit it sideways. I'm not sure, but destroyed it.